He was the cream of the crop, and he would have been 58 today. Born in 1958, Prince. And it's 9:35. We're glad we're alive. And to welcome some special guests. We got a studio full, man. And starting with our good friend Bill Donahue. Good morning, Bill.
Thank you, Bonnie. It's a pleasure to be here as always.
As always. So the traffic was like cruising in.
Yeah,
huh?
we made great time. We're here 45 minutes ahead of time.
Oh, my
which is
God.
rare. I know. It's rare.
But out here, you just never know.
Well, with the trade parade, you can't take that chance.
Yep.
Last time we were on the way and you mentioned our names on the air as we were in traffic. So.
That used to happen to me when I was in L.A. on radio. It happened all the time, where you mentioned somebody was coming in and they'd be hearing you in their car on the 405 freeway, whatever. Yeah.
One of the things I think of when I'm in traffic is I say to myself, what is the traffic like in Beijing?
Yeah.
That makes me feel better.
Better, right.
Can't be.
So, Bill Donahue, we've got some special guests, including your friend and colleague, your boss, I think, Lon Dolber. Good morning, Lon.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome
Hi.
back.
Thank you.
Back. So, and also we welcome special guest Johnny Gale, who's a producer, rock and roll aficionado, been working on Vinyl, the HBO television series. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning.
And you've also been working with Lon. Lon's got a band.
Yes.
It's not just American Portfolios. It's a band.
Yeah, Positively Soul, and I've snookered Johnny into arranging the band and helping us out.
How'd you do that? How'd you get Johnny Gale to work with you?
How did I do that?
Well, we have a connection through family. That Lon's sister and brother-in-law are longtime friends of mine.
Oh, wow.
So last summer, they said, well, why don't you come out to Lon's house? He's having a birthday party. And I said, well, there, I don't know, there might be some musicians there. And I kind of was a little reluctant. So his brother-in-law, who I was in a band with many, many years ago, said, well, who's going to know you out there? Nobody's going to know you. So I went out, and the moment I stepped on the property, Lon's guitarist, evidently he's a fan, he couldn't believe, he didn't understand, he was confused how I showed up there, like magically appeared there. So he immediately took a picture, it was on Facebook in a minute, and Lon's brother-in-law was, I guess, ate his words. I told him I was adored by hundreds, so.
Adored by hundreds.
Adored by hundreds.
I was adored by teens. Right. That too.
So we got to know each other, and one thing led to another, and his guitarist Bobby Canovas, who's a great guy and a really good musician. I guess he told Lon that we should see if Johnny will come and arrange some music for us or get involved with the group. And I did, and it's been a pretty rich experience.
In what way?
Well, they're all great people, and there's a lot of talent here, and everybody, I enjoy everybody. I have a lot of affection for everybody, and occasionally I perform with them, which is fun because I get to show my affection when we, perform live, and everybody works hard, and it's gratifying when you see that it's improving and getting better. And
I remember that first practice. We were doing Nothing But the Real Thing, and you were like, oh, wait a second, where did you get that music? I go, what do you mean, where did I get that music? I downloaded it. I know Valerie Simpson. She would never have written it that way.
Yeah.
So you.
So you've got to tell us about your history. Obviously, a rich one.
How much time do we have?
We've got 20 minutes. You go ahead.
If we had 50 years, I could tell you. But
where was your beginning? Was it New York?
Yeah, I started in New York, and I had a cousin that gave me a nylon string acoustic guitar. This is before the Beatles, and so it was interesting to me. But then when the Beatles showed up on the scene, and the Dave Clark Five and the Stones and the Animals, it got very exciting for me. I'd fantasized, about being in the Dave Clark Five and.
What was one of their songs? Can you sing one real quick?
The Dave Clark Five?
Yeah, what was one of the big hits?
Glad all over, bits and pieces.
Oh, bits and pieces, right. Bits and pieces. Right. Took me love away from.
And Any Way You Want It. They had a lot of very stimulating records, and so that was exciting, but I was into rock and roll before that. I mean, I just loved it. I was a sponge. I soaked it all up, and before there was an internet or even books because I had a yearning to learn, to find out who was on all these records, how they made a record when I was a kid. So, and over the years, I got involved with a lot of people in show business and got to...
As producer?
As a producer and as a player, and I'm still doing it. It's amazing. I've perpetuated some kind of livelihood in this for over 50 years. So.
What's your secret, Johnny?
Clear roll number 5.
I thought that was Nexus Pro Formula 7000.
Yeah, right. Oh, my God. So now, how'd you land this gig with vinyl, the series? Mick Jagger called you up and said, "Hey, Johnny."
He didn't, but the music supervisor, Randall Poster, I did some work with him, and the music producer, Stuart Lerman, I did a lot of things with him in the past 20 years, so they had called me to do Boardwalk Empire. As a vocal arranger and singer, I would layer all these harmony, and I played a little guitar on it. And so I did some Boardwalk Empire. And then it was the final season, and they mentioned, well, we have another series that we're going to do a pilot for. And it's a rock and roll series, so they wanted me to do it. So in May of 2014, we had 2 days in the studio. We cut 4 songs. 2 of them went into the pilot episode of Vinyl, which was a $30 million pilot, by the way. And
well, you got Scorsese and Mick Jagger behind it. It can be.
Yeah. And so I met this singer, Ty Taylor. He's with this group Vintage Trouble. And he was fantastic, and he was very taken by, brought in this arsenal of guitars, and I have guitars set up the way guys would have used them in the 50s with, like, bridge cable, flat wound strings, or whatever he called for it to be idiomatically correct, and so they were fantastic musicians, all top players, and I was a leader on the floor, and I worked in production with them and arranging and say whatever I could do, and so then we did that, and then it got quiet for a couple of months. And then I guess HBO, saw it and they approved it, and then we started doing the episodes. And they did a lot of music licensing, obviously, but anything that they couldn't license, we created the music for. So I worked with Elvis Costello. We did a couple of things with him, and all these young people that I never heard of, like Charlie XCX and Jimmy Jagger, Mick Jagger's son. I sang a duet with him.
So Jimmy Jagger is doing stuff. His son?
Yeah, well, he's in this series. He's one of the central characters, and he the song in the finale was something that I was involved with, and I sang a duet harmony with him on about 17 choruses of this song.
That's
awesome. And I just did a lot of music for. I sang "Cherish." I remember they presented me. They said, we're going to do a bat mitzvah scene. I said okay, and they wanted me on camera for it too, but I declined. But
why'd you decline?
Well, I had a couple of reasons, but mostly I didn't want to be in a leather outfit for 17 hours and shoot 17 seconds and then have a horrible rash for the next 3 weeks. But
plus, you ran out of Clairol or something. You're right.
I never run out of that. But
so you were going to sing "Cherish"?
So I said, when he told me that, I said, "Wow, Cherish!" I said, "It's like a Glee Club thing." I said, "It's very choral, collegiate." I said, "Who's going to sing that?" He said, "You." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay." So we cut the track and we did it in one take. And I overdubbed an acoustic guitar, and then I spent the next 19 hours. They had to take me out on a gurney, after singing "Cherish," but because it's very tough.
Who did it originally?
The Association.
Yeah.
And it was a monster.
Cherish is the word I use to describe.
I could have had you on it.
Yeah, right.
I just heard some sounds.
Yeah, right.
But it was.
What experiences, though?
But now that Warner and Atlantic have, if you go on YouTube, you'll see it's featuring Johnny Gale, and I'm singing. Of all the things that would be my claim to fame, that I'm the singer on "Cherish," and because it's quite a departure from some other things.
So you're helping produce and arrange for Lon Dolber's Positively Soul Band, and what kinds of music? Obviously, it's soul based, right?
Yeah, it's primarily all the Motown hits. And we try to do them as authentically as they were done in the day. And I think there's a big audience for that. The Motown music is great, and we do all the songs like "My Girl," "Respect," and we have a great lineup of singers. And
I think we've got one of them right here, right?
Yeah, here's Nathina, and she's quite a singer. And
how did you meet Nathina?
How did we meet Nathina?
I don't really know how we met.
I think Bob, our
You need to share the microphone there. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How did we meet?
I'm not really sure how we met. I think it was through Bobby Canovas. I was involved in a little band with him at one point. I didn't do very well, and then I guess he remembered my voice, and when he was working with you, he called me in. So.
And where are you from? You based in New York, Nathina?
Yes, I'm from Shirley. So
cool. And always singing? I mean, is that something you've
Yes, I grew up
doing?
singing in church since I was like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years old in a children's choir, and I haven't really stopped. So.
And what about singing these classic tunes?
I have to say, they're very much a part of my my past, because I grew up listening to this kind of music. That's kind of the music that my parents had playing in the house. And so it was really easy for me to kind of come up with this style because it felt very true and authentic to my voice.
And it's got to feel true for you, Johnny. I mean, did you work with, throughout your years working in the music business, any of the Motown stars?
I've worked with a lot of people, yeah. But I got to say that Nathina is an incredible singer and performer. She is electrifying. And it's fun to be on stage with her, because I love to rile her up.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
Like, give me an example.